Welcome back to the world of Wartales. We have a quick little video here today looking at class skill upgrades. So once you choose your character and you get into the county of Vertruse, or the province of Vertruse, you can actually buy a skill upgrade book which upgrades the skills that your characters get to a more advanced level. They do cost 300 gold each, so they're a bit of an expensive investment in some ways, but they can lead to some more interesting combinations. So what we're looking at today are the Ranger class skills. Now, again, once you have finished the arena, you actually unlock a fourth skill spec, this one down at the bottom for Rangers. And I'm just going through what the upgrades are for them today. So aiming to be a quick little video. Okay, so looking at their first skill, Frenzy. So these are the skills that you get at level 3. It moves from doing 2 additional attacks when you are attacking from behind to being able to be used multiple times per turn. For a 2-cost skill on Frenzy, I would definitely recommend that as a ranger you're picking up the on-kill gain a Valor point ability, which in essence reduces Frenzy to a 1-cost ability and can mean that you can chain from one target to the next, to the next, to the next quite nicely. Smokescreen, instead of just forcing enemies to disengage, it also does a knockback for any enemy that is not engaged. This is can be a little bit problematic if you're trying to, say, set off your Brute's AoE with Lun's hammer. However, Smokescreen can be quite useful if you're using quite a Spearman Archer heavy combination where they've got their zone control abilities down and Smokescreen pushes them all away and triggers many attacks of opportunity. Poison Vial upgrades from being 3 poisons to every unit in the area to being 3 poisons and vulnerability to anyone who is already poisoned. It's not too bad, and if you're running a poison heavy composition focused around the Viper's Dagger that you obtain from the arena, can be quite good. And against the Ghost Pack, poison can be quite handy as well because you can poison quite a lot of them without needing to engage in combat. Sometimes they'll block each other off and sit there taking poison damage for a few turns without you actually needing to do anything either as well, which is nice. Right between the eyes goes from inflicting a bleeding attack and double damage if the target, inflicting 10 to 13 damage and applying bleeding. If they're already bleeding, it doubles, which is absolutely fantastic, into a bonus critical damage. So right between the eyes is a range skill, so it basically turns your ranger into a bit of a character that is sort of halfway between a melee and a ranged character, a little bit more like the spearman. And obviously targeting and friendly fire are potential possibilities with right between the eyes. And that critical damage is just a nice little bonus, though I think the damage that it can already do is fairly significant as well. Alrighty, jumping into the level 5 skills. So level 3 and level 5 skills can be upgraded. The Valor point generators you get at level 2 can't be upgraded. Okay, so level 5 skills. Poisoned weapon changes from applying 1 poison when you're attacking it from behind to spreading poison to enemies that are near the target. This one I think has fairly limited application because it's not that common that when enemies are all grouped together, you're necessarily running your ranger behind to try to poison them. It can have an effect, but I don't honestly think this one is that impactful on how the battle will end up turning out. Knife throw, so the damage here reads as pretty low because I've taken it on a character with very low dexterity. That damage will increase as your dexterity does, and basically what this allows your ranger to do is deal some damage after every single skill that they use. Now this includes the starting skills, so you can heal someone with first aid, knife throw, do a sprint, knife throw, do a standard attack on someone, knife throw. And it means this ranger can do quite a lot of damage in a turn. It's one of my favorites, even though it's quite simple. The upgraded knife throw allows you to move and resets your movement after you've thrown a knife. This gives your ranger an absolutely huge amount of flexibility in terms of their movement, and you can move from one target to the next, to the next, to the next, and you can end up getting quite a few knife throws off per turn. Deadly Contract applies fragility to 1 enemy or the closest enemy each round. When upgraded, it applies it to the 2 closest enemies each round. Increasing the damage an enemy takes by 30% for an entire round is fairly huge. This is actually very similar to having Fury applied on, all of your characters permanently when attacking those enemies this round. In the first round of combat, wherever your ranger starts, it gets applied to the 2 closest enemies, not when they first move or anything like that. But it can really help kind of give you some targets that you focus fire down, which is really, really nice. So even though this one's sort of more passive than a lot of, actually, I guess these are all passives, it is quite useful and synergizes well, even more with a large squad too. Ordeal. Every time a unit takes bleeding or burning, every time a unit attacks a bleeding or poisoned unit, the attack also applies fever. And this upgrades to applying 2 fever. So Ordeal is one that I actually haven't had a chance to play with yet, because I haven't leveled up a ranger from none to 5 since unlocking it. But I absolutely love this ability for dealing with things like champions. So champions, you can definitely bleed, burn, and poison quite easily. Getting an increased stackable damage bonus on champions just when they've got those buffs on them is going to be incredible. And the combinations between some of these as well is going to be really good. So Ordeal, for instance, when combined with, well, I guess you don't have to have chosen right between the eyes, but Ordeal combined with, say, Frenzy, for instance, if you can get behind a champion and perform 3 attacks that are applying 2 fever each time, you've applied 6 fever or a 60% stackable damage increase in 1 ranger's turn to a champion. So very keen to see that in action and try it out. Okay, so look, there we go. We've got a quick class overview of all the ranger skills. I will look at making some more videos for the other classes. I just need to do some more leveling and take some more screenshots of all their different skills. Thank you very much to Diego5, who has given me a few of the screenshots for this one. Cag, over and out.